Welcome viewers to Bodhi Unified Flow. Here we simplify complexity and amplify performance. Today, we're doing a real deep dive into the last planner system foundations, specifically Part 5. We're looking at Level 3, Make-Ready Planning, and focusing on what we can do within that crucial 6 to 8 week look-ahead window. So if you're looking to take your project execution from, absolutely chaotic to highly predictable, well, you're in exactly the right place for this explainer.
Here's our agenda for today's explainer. We'll start with an introduction and our objectives, then examine the look-ahead window, unpack the make-ready planning core, dive into constraint analysis details, look at generating a workable backlog, and wrap it all up with a summary and references. Let's get straight into it.
Section 1. Introduction and Objectives. Let's set our targets.
Our goals here are super focused on getting you away from just theory and into executing rock-solid workflows on the ground. By the end of our time together, you're going to understand the 6 to 8 week look-ahead window as a literal funnel of certainty. You'll master the basics of constraint analysis to systematically knock out roadblocks before they ever hit your crews. We're also going to show you how this generates a pure, constraint-free, workable backlog. Ultimately, we're fixing a massive industry headache, right? Matching what the master schedule says we absolutely should do with what the actual conditions dictate we can do.
All right, Section 2, the look-ahead window. This is the mechanism that brings that long-term master schedule into sharp focus.
Notice the time frame we're looking at here, 6 to 8 weeks. I know, historically, some planners might just look a few weeks out, but mature last planner teams, they look 6 to 8 weeks ahead. And it's highly strategic. It gives us that buffer to manage complex materials or detailed design info from the engineers way before execution. Think of it as giving your team the lead time to spot a roadblock and literally crush it long before it ever reaches the construction site.
This whole idea is captured beautifully in a quote from the International Group for Lean Construction in 2016. They said, "One of the main purposes of the last planner system is to improve reliability and to increase the accuracy of planning by creating matches between can and should. The master schedule gives us the milestones, right? That's the should. But the field dictates reality. That's the can. The entire point of Level 3 is to aggressively bridge that gap. We aren't just guessing anymore. We are explicitly matching schedule requirements with verified, on-the-ground readiness. It's a total game changer."
Section 3. Make-Ready Planning Core. This right here is the heart of the process.
Let's unpack what this actually means. Make-ready planning is the process of screening the schedule to ensure that only sound or constraint-free work is released to the weekly plan. And honestly, soundness is our ultimate filter here. We're essentially acting as a super strict quality control gate. Like if a concrete pour is missing its rebar delivery, it's simply not sound. No way around it. So it absolutely does not advance into our production phase. I love this comparison because it highlights the massive philosophical shift we need to make. On the left side, we have the classic throw it over the wall mentality. We've all seen it, right? It's completely reactive. It just magically assumes all prerequisites will align, and then it relies on massive, stressful firefighting on site when they inevitably don't. Contrast that with make-ready planning on the right. This is proactive. It's the systematic removal of constraints, deliberately killing uncertainty way before any assignment is handed off to a work crew.
So how do we get to this proactive state? Well, we execute 5 very distinct steps. First, we pull tasks from the master schedule right into our 6 to 8 week look-ahead window. Second, we rigorously examine the prerequisites for those specific tasks. What do we actually need to start? Third, we screen the activities to spot any missing pieces or roadblocks. Fourth, the team collaborates to actively remove those constraints over the coming weeks. And fifth, only when an activity is fully vetted and crystal clear does it move to the workable backlog. Just let that sink in for a second because this sequence is the absolute engine of project stability.
Section 4. Constraint Analysis Details. Step 4 of that process is where the magic happens. So let's get into the details. Glenn Ballard, one of the brilliant founders of the last planner system, hit the nail on the head. He said, "In the absence of constraint analysis, the tendency is to assume a throw-it-over-the-wall mentality, to become reactive to whatever happens to show up in your inbox or laydown yard." I mean, it's so true. Constraint analysis isn't just some administrative checkbox. It is literally the fundamental antidote to site-level chaos. Let's look at the exact constraints we're scanning for during these look-ahead meetings. First up, information. Do we have the prerequisite data? We're actively checking for open RFIs, pending submittals, or final design approvals that could bring work to a grinding halt. Second, resources. Do we actually have the right labor trades, the functional equipment, and the materials confirmed for delivery? Third is space and sequence. Is the predecessor work genuinely complete, and do the incoming trades have safe, clear access to the work area? And finally, contractual constraints. Are there variation orders pending or specific code compliance sign-offs we need? We evaluate every single task against these exact categories.
Moving on to Section 5, creating workable backlog. This is what we get when we systematically filter out all those constraints. So what is it? The workable backlog is a generated list of sound, constraint-free tasks that have survived our rigorous screening process. They are now fully ready for short-term, weekly commitment. Think of it as the ultimate finish line of that 6 to 8 week look-ahead funnel. Every single thing that lands in this backlog represents pure, unadulterated can work. There's zero guesswork left. And because this backlog is so thoroughly vetted, you start to see this beautiful transformation in the project culture. Project team members can finally make reliable, public commitments during their weekly planning sessions. When a trade leader stands up and says, "I will complete this task," they're staking their reputation on it, fully knowing the work is genuinely ready to go. And as they consistently deliver on these reliable promises, man, they build immense, unshakable trust across the entire project team. And look, we know this works in the real world, not just in theory. Studies, like those from the 2025 E3S Web of Conferences, show the tangible impact of make-ready planning. It significantly reduces site stoppages and delays. By getting everyone involved in removing constraints, it naturally fosters deep integration among contractors, consultants, and owners. It optimizes material use because the prep is just better. And honestly, the most impressive part? Implementing this has been shown to improve overall plan reliability, what we measure as percent plan complete, from a chaotic 65% to a highly stable 85% or more. That is a massive leap in performance. Section 6, Summary and References. Let's wrap things up and look at the academic foundation behind all of this.
Okay, let's do a quick recap. We've established that the 6 to 8 week look-ahead window acts as your funnel of certainty. We saw how constraint analysis is the gritty but essential work of screening prerequisites across information, resources, space, and contracts. We learned that only sound, fully vetted tasks are allowed into the workable backlog. And ultimately, the last planner system aligns what we should do with what we can do, completely wiping out that outdated throw-it-over-the-wall mentality. I'd say our learning objectives for Mastering Level 3 have definitely been achieved.
So, I want to leave you with a direct question to ask yourself at your next project meeting. Are you still throwing schedules over the wall and just hoping for the best? Or are you ready to implement make-ready planning and actually filter for certainty? Your answer to that is what's going to define the success of your execution.
To back all this up, we've listed the academic literature and global proceedings here, from Glenn Ballard's foundational work to the latest lean construction journals. Everything we unpacked in this explainer is fully validated. Thank you so much for joining us here at Bodhi Unified Flow, where we simplify complexity and amplify performance. We can't wait to guide you through more of these transformative methodologies soon. Until then, plan with certainty and execute with confidence.